What's shaking? Hey, Dave. What's going on, Nick? Mike? Big John? Market's kind of slow this morning. Hey, Scotty. How you doing, man? Do you guys have anything on? There wasn't really much to do, much moving for me today. Aussie yens kind of pop a little bit. Bonds are off a little. I just gave everything to reboot, so I'm just give me a second to get everything up. Well, we might just be waiting around for claims. Not that claims seem to matter much anymore. And you got FOMC Evans 30-year auction today too. Maybe that'll get the bond market going. Carney at 130. Bank of Australia statement tonight. I don't, Andrew. I don't know the why. Let me check a couple things. The Twitter feed is kind of slow this morning too. I think it's just more follow through from Tuesday's move. Could have been, John. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, the one trade kind of going against me here now is this Kiwi yen, and I like the location on the daily. I think we should probably get a higher low here. I don't know, maybe it pushes towards 80. Cycle's low. Let's see what this weekly looks like. It's kind of mixed. Remember yesterday we were kind of noticing this pie area. So may have to play some defense there if we don't start to hold. Hey Toter, how are you, man? Bonds are kind of boring lately. Doing good? I did, guys, I need to signal this. I did just resell a little bit of Euro versus Kiwi on the spot. So it was pretty oversold into these lows. It's a good 4-hour cycle bounce, though, to reshort some. Over the intermediate term. Toter, what have you been trading lately? You got anything on, or? I lost them. Aussie yen. Okay. You day trading it? Hey, Rio. How are you? Okay. Are you in a position now? Okay. Oh yeah, what's going on? What's going on, Rio? Toter, I think Aussie yen can go higher. You know what I mean? I think it's just in a range trade. It kind of looks like Kiwi yen that broke pie, except that it held, and now I think we can go back top of the range. Oh, I got you. Family first sometimes, you know. You just wish you were trading more. It's 30-minute cycle is kind of high on Aussie yen. Definitely in an uptrend here. 15 minutes still rising. Are you long there, Toter? Day trade long? Yen's weakening this morning. Got a real money candle here, pound yen. 15-minute cycle is kind of low. And rising, you know. We can lean long here, guys, pound yen, day trade. Maybe this will push another leg up. We got pi here, another 70 pips higher. Back at pi on the 1 minute. Let's buy this next dip. I mean, you can lean a little bit long if you want here. Let's buy this next dip. Or you can wait for claims. I don't know if claims are going to move pound yen that much. Guys, I'm here. I'm just putting some breakfast down. I might put you on mute here and there. I'm going to lean small long, and I mean, I don't want us to break this low. But we can give this thing room all the way back here, 104.90. It's just kind of sliding sideways. You know, guys, I was thinking yesterday too. We talked about this a little bit last week. Well, why doesn't everybody try to do this today? Make it a good goal. You know, I don't know if we're going to get a lot of energy this morning or not. But anyway, you can do a trade. Why don't we take one trade today, whether you want to take one that we're doing here in the room, or if you got something else that you traded yesterday or you were trading this morning or you're going to trade this afternoon. But go ahead and send me, and you can put it in the Slack room, you know, the JRM trading team, and just go ahead and list out your trade. And let's work on the process of you guys sending me, you know, like we start with the analysis and then walk through and list out your actions, right? What you identify as a buy setup, where your stop is, where you add, where you move your, you know, after the first pullback, where you move your stop to, and just walk through the whole trade. But that's the best way for me to see how you guys are progressing or what's working, or if there's certain things that you kind of keep repeating that you might be getting hung up on. And then I'll do it also. I mean, I do that a lot when I'm recapping the video. It's kind of a way for me to do post analysis by walking through it again. But I just want everybody to kind of be in the habit of doing that anyway. I mean, I'm constantly thinking about certain trades, you know. Just trying to think what you could do better. Like some of you might be having a lot of success now, and you might be thinking about bumping up your size. But it's just the little things. Like I can see how you're adding on the chart, or if you're adding too heavy. So you guys think you could do that today and tomorrow? Why don't we give it tomorrow too, and then you can post to me. And that'll be good. Especially when you have a good trade. I mean, trading can be tough as it is, getting beat up by the market here and there and being hard on yourself. But when you have good trades, I want everybody else to see it. And that's the point of the team thing, you know. This market is quiet though. All right, cool. And I'll start listing my trades out. I'll do one today, or maybe I'll do it on the plane this evening. I'm going to Chicago tonight. All right, let's see what else is moving here. Maybe it's Kiwi related. Sucktastic. That's a good one. Gold just backed off 1245 in a hurry. That was yesterday, right? I think I've only done literally 2 trades this morning. I have like a dozen. I gotta prune and plant a few things, and I don't see much to do. All right, guys, I have a very small piece long just to get a feel, put a toe in the water. I don't think that's going to move at all, though. Okay, let's look at the euro a little closely here. Just give me 1 second. Before I forget, I want to signal what I did on euro. New Zealand dollar here. Mm. Nick, what did you end up doing on euro yesterday? We talked about you were going to maybe take it over the intermediate term. Did you stay short? I signaled kind of later in the afternoon. I covered a little bit when we right when I was doing the webinar, we were started to back off. That hourly cycle kind of swung the other way. On. Okay. Yeah, let's talk about that a little. So, I mean, we've come off the highs. Did you sell into 107? Or you're still short from down here, bud? Did you re-short more into the highs up here? Okay. Where's your average? Close to the market? I kind of like this bear 180 here, actually. Just failed at pi in the 15-minute. This 30-minute cycle is going the wrong way. 15 minutes pretty good, though. I like that bear 180. Might think about selling the next bounce on the 1 minute there. On the euro. See if pound yen can get on its horse. As far as yesterday, guys, when you think about stopping, I mean, if you get a 1 minute and a 5 minute that's bullish, it's usually the better thing to do is just stop and or reverse, go small long. I mean, it would have worked out good yesterday. Sometimes if you stop and then it ends up being the high and it comes back down and goes sideways and then breaks again, you're usually going to get you'll get a chance to get back in on the short side. I would say that when I stop day trade, it's usually the whole position. Yesterday was kind of rare, and the reason I like to stop on everything and or flip is because it's just, if you get into one of these 1 minute trends like yesterday, you're usually not going to be able to get the chance to go the other way until, 4 hours later or the next day. So like, you'll see me on my longer term positions. Sometimes when I stop, I don't take it all off because I'm keeping that core position. I'm just reducing my risk by stopping on a good chunk and then trying to reestablish higher. But when you're day trading, if you're only going to trade for a few hours, it's just unlikely that you're just better off staying with the immediate trend. So doing like I did yesterday, which is stopping on some and then keeping the short all the way up that's a long way to drag a short position. And that's not typical of what I want to do when we're day trading. Because that's 106.75. That's 40 pips into the highs. That's really tough to manage a average short over that distance. So we really should have just went long yesterday. Getting a little bit of a pop here. Pound yen. Feels like it. Doesn't move that much. Let's keep an eye on this euro here. I'm gonna lean short, guys. Let's go. This is starting to show itself some energy here on the downside. So I'm gonna lean day trade short. Probably should have hit it on this candle. Give yourself some room. We can sell the next bounce. We got claims already out. How are those? Jobs were good. That might have been what the market was waiting for. Maybe there'll be some energy in the come in the market here. So what I was going to say on the euro also, for some reason I don't have the 8 saved on here. But a great way, guys, just to keep it simple is look at that direction of the 8-period moving average on the 15-minute chart. If I try to add it here, it might screw up my study. Okay. So just going back to yesterday, look at, guys, just sometimes you're flipping through different time frames and it's easy to kind of, confuse yourself as to what trend is really dominant. Easy thing is just go back to the 15-minute chart and look at the direction of the 8. You see yesterday, I mean, it was okay to take that short. There was a good chance we could have failed there, but boom, we held the 8. If most of the time, if you're trading with that 8, you're going to be, because you only have so much time when we're day trading, right? I mean, you want to just go with wherever that's why I call it the immediate trend. It's the trend that's happening right now, and that's going to be the direction of the 8. So if most of the time we're in the direction of that 8, so right now you can see it's trying to turn down, so I'm okay with that. And then you will see on pound yen here, it's rising. It's kind of sideways, but it'll be curling up here if this little move continues. Does that make sense to everybody? Just a real simple way. But yesterday was a great example. I mean, that's what I was saying. It's tough to work a short against that. And some of the biggest moves in Forex, if you get stuck in your thinking, trying to work a short just because you don't want to be wrong or you don't want to take a loss, you just end up fighting a runaway train. And then some days a market will just take off and it'll stay on that 8 all day. I mean, I've done it to myself on pound yen before. The thing it'll go like 200 pips and I've fought it the whole way. And then you look back and you're just like, oh my goodness, there was 15 different times it could have added long. No, Nick, I mean, pi matters on all of them. It's meaningful in all of them. I don't want you guys zeroing in on one thing, you know. If you got a pi is up here on the 15-minute and then the 1-minute pi is down here, so you're thinking short, then you're thinking long. Just use it in conjunction with everything else. You know, you got to put it all together. You know, like pi on the 30-minute here isn't helpful for us when we're day trading. You know what I mean? Like, this doesn't matter that we're below it or above it, but it certainly matters for location, intermediate term, swing trade. It's showing us, you know, pi is starting to roll over here along with the 200, and this arcing is showing you that the intermediate term is starting and the longer term is starting to roll back over to the downside on the euro, right? Before we had it rising pi, but that would be significant on the intermediate term. And then here we are in the 15-minute. Like yesterday, I mean, when we go out through here and you break the bands, right? What do we expect to happen, guys, when you break the bands or the TMS in a downtrend? What's the most probable move next? Yeah, that's right, Dave. All right, like clockwork, guys. It's very rare that you break the bands and then you fail in between the bands and the 200. But even if you do, you got to be thinking when you break the bands or going. That's why when we went above this high, I even said, you know, we got to stop. This can go all the way back to 107. This could go back, you know, to 200, maybe even all the way back to pi. I think I even said that. So that would be, Nick, an example of, all right, where might we be headed if we break here? Maybe all the way back to pi. Sure enough, got pretty darn close. So that'd be an example of why you might use pi. I mean, it happened to work great here this morning. Even up here, I mean, this is a big area, right? So think about this as the ropes in a ring, you know, in a boxing ring. You can lean on them. But we don't want to be too level specific anyway, right? You just want to say, okay, market's rallying, we're kind of back into pi, it's descending. Maybe it's time to think short. I'll wait for the 15-minute to cross. And then if you started a day trade in here, that was a nice little move. And then here we are failing at pi. Something just beeped. Maybe I'm hearing things. Failed at pi. Bear 180, 15-minute cross. That's why I said, yeah, let's lean short. We got to break these lows though for anything exciting to happen. Same thing up here in pound yen. I'm going to scalp a piece on pound yen. It's like 10 pips. Maybe we'll get this thing to keep running if I sell. Let's let this euro come up a little bit more. Kind of tempted to sell a piece here. I mean, this is a, you guys can short here if you want. I'll just keep it small in case we go all the way back to the top of the range here. But we're top, this is the top of the 1 minute. I'll sell some. I like that we have a little bit of a lower low here. It's good. Come on, pound yen, break out. What's cable doing? Trying to do better. Thinking about buying some stocks too. Yeah, exactly, Nick. Hope is not a risk management process. I would say, guys, the opposite of that feeling is you kind of want to put yourself in situations where, or at least in the mental state, that you want a market to go against you. That's two different states of mind. One is fearful and not wanting the market to keep going against you. The other is playing from a position of, hey, I know where I am in the trend. You know, this isn't a downtrend. It's just, I mean, this is not really in that great of a downtrend right now. I'm just saying in general, like yesterday, let's just say you were long from the lows in the start of the move. There would have been times in here that you would wanted to pull back to buy more, because if you're sitting comfortably in the trend, and when you get in the right flow, you're gonna want it to pull back some so you can buy. But if you get in that position where, hey, I'm long, if it goes up, I make some money, a little bit of money, or I'm gonna make money. If it pulls back and then I can work into my position with more size, that's actually preferable to me, because then I'm going to I have an opportunity to make more money. If you get into that type of thinking where you want the market to actually go against you, that's the right place to be. Instead of being, if you're putting on trades, you want them to immediately go in your favor. That's the opposite of really how you want to be. That's how most people trade. As soon as they put something on, they want it to immediately go in their favor. One, that's not really likely. So you're already setting yourself up for an expectation that's going to disappoint you, which emotionally has consequences to the negative, right? So what you were expecting to happen isn't happening, makes you feel wrong, makes you feel fearful that you're going to be more wrong. But if you have a state of mind where I actually want to pull back and you don't get it and you're long and it just takes off on you, oh well, still made money. But most traders won't get there because they don't really know where the trend is or where they're going to be wrong. Like right now on the euro, or we even did it on pound yen. It's like, okay, we'll buy a little here and we'll give it room all the way down here to make a higher low. So if it pulls back more, okay, good. We'll be long from lower levels. Same thing on the euro. Like right now, if it keeps backing up here, it's fine. We're gonna short more into this move. And then we'll use this as where we're wrong. Could even use this as where we're wrong, but this is kind of a lot of distance. Does that make sense? It's coming from a different place of and the more consistency, the more confidence you guys get, and being in negative territory, that's a good thing as a trader. Being comfortable in negative territory. And sometimes when you start trading more size and you're working into a position, it's easy to look over at your P&L and be like, oh man, I'm down 3. But the market hasn't done anything wrong. You're just building up your size. Your average is close to the market. And then boom, you get the ebb and flow the other way. And I remember when I was trading treasuries, and I would get like that a lot, where the boss would come over and he didn't really understand what I was doing. He's just more on the sales side. He was a guy from Goldman Sachs, and he was a lawyer, and he knew markets, but he wasn't really sit down and day trade and have any directional clue of what was going on. He was just, if he were to sit down and trade, he would just, trade off his ego. I think the market's going up, blah, 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 blah. But he would come over, I'd be up $3,000, $4,000. Like, geez, it's only 7:30, and then after the number, I'd be working a position, and then you'd be down 4, and I'd be ebbing and flowing, working my position, constantly up in negative territory, especially when you get kind of a choppy market. But constantly trading like that and kind of, it's almost like a market making type of style. You get used to being in negative territory. But there's just so many traders, they know they can't handle the market going against them. And that's a tough way to trade, because if as soon as you enter, the market moves against you, and maybe you have a stop loss rule, somebody has a stop loss rule of like, I don't know, a lot of stock traders maybe use 1%, or if they're swing trading, it's even like 1 or 2%. Well, as soon as you enter, an hour later, you're down 1% and you just cut it. You don't give your stock much room to work for you. You know, you don't want to put it in a straitjacket. I just see a lot of stop outs with traders like that. Put the trade on and moves X amount against them, they stop out. It's like the trend hasn't changed. You know, you haven't taken out a high, or the TMS, as we would call it, hasn't changed. You're just stopping because you have a P&L rule. And I get that. It's being disciplined on the risk side. But then when do you enter? Like, you get another entry a little bit higher, you're just going to re-enter, and then it moves against you some more and you stop again. And then you take 2 stops, and then you go on to another pair, and then the market fails and goes in your favor. I just don't think that that style of trading it's just a lot of stop and start, pretty sideways equity curve. All right, Dave, if you want to lift a yard up here, then we can break out. Now, guys, this position's small, so normally I would take on new highs. Like if you have a big position here, you can take on new highs. My position's small. I'm just going to add to it. We've got a decent amount of room here. We have almost 30 pips. We'll see where my average. Long from 09, so probably missed a chance to add already because I was kind of rambling. But if we clear this level, I'm going to probably triple my position long. Euros just froze up. But anyway, I hope that makes sense to you guys. Learning to work your size, and that's why you hear me say I'm going long small. Like, it's always small, small, small usually. Very rarely, like yesterday was a time where I got in there on the 1 minute because I knew I needed to try to make up for 20, 30 pip average that was out of the money. But I don't go heavy for very long periods when you're day trading. I mean, I'm just trying to pull out 10, 20 pips heavy on size and then go back to something that's more comfortable. So being light will allow you to kind of work in your position, sit through some negative territory, get yourself a profit cushion, you know, then you can add. It's just a much more controlled way to trade than, I guess, which a lot of people trade. They just plunge in at one price, right, their entire position, and then they immediately want it to go in their favor. All right, Euro. If we test that low we made 30 minutes ago, I'm going to cover a piece into that low. And then if it breaks, I'm just going to reshort actually probably into it. I'm just going to signal in the room. My throat is scratchy today. I'm talking too much yesterday. Wow, this is just absolutely dead. Euro. Ah, guess we should have been long here. Toter, how you doing? Are you long here? Aussie yen? I'm gonna take a little bit more off on my core long into this pop. I'm pretty extended on the hourly cycle. I still think this can come all the way higher. There's a decent amount of energy there, though. I'll see dollars back into these highs. I might need to take some of there too. Might be a short soon on this or New Zealand yen. It's 30 minutes high. You had a good move down, a decent bounce about halfway. Pointer froze. All right, I'm gonna add the pound yen here, guys. All right, new highs. I mean, no, you know what I mean. Normally, you can take a new highs. This is kind of one of those scenarios. Here, let me get it on, and then I'll tell you what's going through my head. I'm gonna sell some Aussie here. Core long, out of my core long, okay? Not day trade. Guys, when you move to new highs, it's a little bit different if you're in a range and then you break. That's a little bit different than, because here when you go to a new high, you've come all the way from here. But this is a little bit different, right? So if you're buying here, you've already missed all of this. You're a little bit late. But this is a little bit different. This makes sense to buy here, which is what we have. I mean, if you would have been long, pretty size that you care about, you can take into these new highs. That's perfectly good. Now, even if this comes back through, guys, we want to be buyers, right? Basically, you want to be thinking a buyer until we break these lows. So even if we come up and then pull back, we could still go again. Let's see, how much did I sell earlier? I did sell 2 lots. I think you guys think it's fair to say Aussie's been one of the strongest currencies this year? I think it has been. Even versus the euro. I mean, I don't know what I'm saying. Even against like New Zealand, Kiwi, breaking out there too. I think it's a little bit of this reflation, a little bit of reflation. I mean, I don't follow the iron ore prices that well. Probably should. Come on, euro. Now, I wish we would have went day trade long here. It's the only thing moving. All right, we may have to sit through a 5-minute down cycle on pound yen now. We may pull back towards the 30. So may have to sit through, pull back here. If euro wants us to bounce, if euro wants to bounce more, it's fine. The 5 minutes still kind of coming up. Guys, I'll be right back. I gotta step off for a second. All right, this is part of that pullback. I'm going to nibble a little here. Pound yen. Could even sell the euro small. Just keep this light, guys, because this is really rangy. And if we were to take this high out, probably going to flip and get long. So just keep this euro really small because it's very directionless. I think we got a better shot here if this follows through. Where are you guys long from on pound yen? $24-ish. If you added, that's where I am. That was another example of why I say when you take on new highs is usually better than buying new highs, but it is what it is. Position was pretty small. If it had taken off, it would have been no fun to have nothing on. I'm going to bid for a little bit more. Slowly kind of nibbling as this 5-minute comes down. See if we get a higher low here. $15 just crossed. 30-minute was up. You took some off, Dave? You mean you sold out of some long into 29? That worked. Nice. All right, cool. Nice job. Okay, let's see if this 5-minute cycle is gonna reverse. Maybe not enough energy to take this any higher. I really don't like that this 15-minute cycle crossed. That's just not helping us. Still within trend though, that's what, you know. If your trend breaks, Yeah, your cycle can be wrong or your trend breaks, right, guys? If you have both, you're on the wrong side. But right now we have a cycle that's low on the 5 minute, but is going against us on the 15 minute. So as long as we're still holding trend here, I'm okay, right? Buying this dip. So, and this is just how I think about the market too. I mean, within the model, guys, if you're buying dips within the trend, most of the time you're going to hold at or near the 30. Sometimes you'll hold the bands. And the times that you don't and you're buying into the dip and then it breaks, that's just part of trading, right? So the next thing is to think about catching the move this way. So not getting too hung up on the fact that the dip didn't hold. You just want to be focused on maybe the next move is larger. So for me, it's either we're going to hold here and pop, or we're going to break this whole thing, and maybe the next move is lower and try to catch something with more size this way. But the time component will help us from, you know, that's if we pull back to here, man, I don't even know if I want to add anymore. I'm probably going to add small, but I don't. This 15-minute cycle is not helping us. If this 50-minute was down here and it was about to turn up, I would like this more back here. I'm gonna scalp a piece back on the euro. I'm sitting near break even. Be easier to sell the next bounce on the 1 minute. Guys, I'm gonna lean short Kiwi versus yen here too. Failed, made a lower high. We retraced about halfway up the wall. This might be some yen strength coming on. I'm not gonna buy any more here. Pound yen. It needs to hold around this area though, or this wall is getting too big now. Sell a little bit of euro that I just covered. Trying to work into something there. It's sluggish. So we're gonna have some work to do in pound yen. Nick, yeah, this wall. Yeah, you're right. I'm glad you're noticing that. That's the right thing to be thinking about. It's probably going to take these lows out. And so if we stop and go short here, that's exactly right. Like whatever you short, you don't go heavy short here because it's already come so far. But if you go short here and then it bounces back into the wall, you sell into that now. I want to see this come a little bit lower and be more of a break first. See if we can get some More of this on Kiwi versus the yen. All right, bottom and tail, taking out the high. I'm gonna give it one more chance here, guys, to see if we can rally back. So I'm gonna add to the long. I'm gonna give it a bigger chunk now that it showed me something. And stop right below that low. Makes sense? Stop right below the bottoming tail. If that gets taken out, it's all over. Euro is just choppy.
I don't know. Pound yen couldn't get above the 30 in 1 minute. I know. It's just going to toy with the TMS. You guys listen, if we do come back up on the 5 minute cycle here, we got to come out of some though, right? Into the halfway of the move down now. You got to come out of some. If this was going to be a stronger move up, it should have held halfway and kind of kept going. And then you get a full retrace, bounce. You got to come out of some. Maybe the euro will tail again here, come back down. It's possible. I'm keeping this one pretty light.
Oh, he just smashed euro. I'm selling more euro here. Something's going on in that. Something just happened here. Did we get a number? Something just happened, guys. Take some profit into this high. We just fell into something, just fell in our lap here. What is he saying? I didn't get an alert. Is that what you're guessing, Dave? Guys, take some on this, all right? You got to take into this. This is nice. I'm going to cover, well, I'm going to take half of my New Zealand yen short off because we're making money on these other two now. So I don't really want to give back more. I'm going to have that. Take a. How we doing? You guys making some money here? Good old TMS did its job, huh? Yeah, I haven't seen it on Twitter. We're going to be announcing something over the next 2 or 3 weeks that will be phenomenal in terms of tax. I guess that's Trump. whatever. Nice. All right. Well, this could be just a knee jerk, or this could be the start of a multi-hour trend here. Nice break of the euro. Guys are going to want to sell now if we bounce. So let's take some profit, and then maybe if we back up, we can short into it. Stay long some pound yen though. This might make another leg. We had the wholesale inventories, 1%, expected 1%, last was 1%. Jeez. Just when I think I'm over this cold, it's leaking back in. It's annoying. Gonna take a little bit more pound yen. Ah, shoot, wasn't fast enough. All right, now I'm gonna take some pound yen. This could run though. Feels like it. It's got enough energy. That would have sucked, huh? If we stopped down there, if it would have broken a little lower and stopped, and then this, that would have stunk. Don't say what, that it's gonna run. See, I'm taking profit while I say it's gonna run. Oh, I know. That's why we got to give it a little bit of room. We did good though. You get a little bottoming tail, took out the high. The model took care of us there. You know what this New Zealand yen wants to do. Topping tail. Did you guys take into that last push? Got to take into those new highs. Wow, that's all it takes. Phenomenal. What if he says super huge? So the algos are all dialed in now. The super huge, phenomenal. uh, and it's funny because they are. You know they are. These guys are writing code. Tremendous. Well, I'm kind of disappointed in my Twitter alerts because I got one earlier this morning. I didn't get that last one. Or is he talking somewhere? He was talking today somewhere, wasn't he? I thought I saw his itinerary. I don't know. Banging on. It's funny. Well, guys, we'll just see. You know, you let this 5 minute. What's the 5 minute cycle doing on the euro? So it's low. So after you book some gains like this, I'm not in a hurry to reshort. Same thing with pound yen. It's kind of high. I'm watching this Kiwi yen to see if it fails here and then maybe takes out the low. That would be nice. If it comes back to these highs, I don't know. I may sell it one more time. But I'm not too worried about this one. We were just starting that position and then we got the move here. So I'm not doing much of that one. If you want to nibble on pound yen, you can. But please don't get heavy. You don't want to give up. If this retraces the entire way, you don't want to give up everything you made in that move. You know what I mean? Now I'm gonna buy. I'll buy a small piece just to see if we take another leg up. Maybe we can compound into it. So my average now, after adding back there, is 121.20, 141.24. So I won't let it go back below there. I've taken 80% off of what I had on, right? I'll let this euro come back more. You can fade the euro a little if you want. Just same thing there. Just keep it small in case we're trading headlines. I mean, it just come right back all the way back up. It may all be all about this 5-minute cycle here. Goes stocks. Knew we should have bought that dip. Darn it. Too slow today. Stocks are going to rip to new highs. Nasdaq's already at new high. What else is new? Sitting right at the highs in Dow futures, and the S&P is pretty much there. I'm not really sure. Guys, I'm going to cover a piece on the 1 minute here, the euro. Trump doesn't like aviation fees and he doesn't like taxes. I don't know. Yeah, he doesn't like Nordstrom's. I saw. What is that? Was she like modeling for them or something? Ah, like Trump, or like Donald. Nobody cares on that one, bud. Oh, that's what he's. Is she? She's the one that is in charge of that. His daughter. You cannot short this US stock market. That I know. You guys see where Deutsche Bank failed? Right at the top of the bands on the weekly. I'm gonna add another piece on pound yen here. Oh, maybe not. I was gonna see if it was gonna go there. I'm just gonna relax, I guess. What I was watching is add it in here. I was gonna see if we could get another decent candle. There it goes. Comes the euro back into the lows. Pretty good day. Pretty good little morning. What's some of the dollar amounts you guys made, pound yen? Covered a little bit more euro. Seems like the right amount of time on the 1 minute. Nice, Andrew. Nice job, Dave. Nice job, guys. Job, Nick. I was long $1 million down there. Made over $5 grand. Honestly, guys, but what I like about that was we were willing to risk. Now, look, I was going to say this earlier. If that, whatever, it doesn't matter what hits the tape. I mean, Twitter didn't even have it till like 10 minutes later. So, but anyway, if that had gone the other way, as soon as we take out that low, you just got to kill it. And there's probably some slippage there, but you just have to be fast, do the best you can. But what I like about that is that we bought this candle and we said, we're going to go long. And that's when I hit it hard right there. Let's think back about how we did. We were talking about, okay, we're going to have to sit through this 15-minute cycle, right? Remember? And then even on this candle, we were like, this doesn't look good. The market needs to show us something. I didn't want to add. And then here it showed us bottoming tail right at the bands. And then we took out the high. That's why I bought $1 million right there on that, just because look, I'm only risking this amount. I mean, that's just classic in the classic setup that I teach, right? There's even a swing line setup right there. And if it would have went the other way, stop, flip, go short, and then we'd be trying to sell into that next rally, try to work the next trade. It's nice when you get a little bit of help from sometimes that goes against you, you know, that same stuff. But you'd be amazed at when you follow the TMS and you follow the model, like it'll just get you on the right side of the headlines. I mean, people were chasing when we were that night of the vote in the early morning. People were chasing every poll, and I was buying that flash down that we had, and I stuck it right into the lows because it was. Let me see if I can show you guys. um, let's just. I might just get rid of this New Zealand yen. I just don't want to watch it anymore. I'm just gonna cover that. It's probably not the right place to kill the trade, but I don't care. There's a small size. Get out of that. What was I saying? Oh, on the euro, let me go to 2 screens. No, maybe not. So here, guys. Uh, anyway, people were chasing all those polls and stuff. I was just selling into the lower highs, the 12 to 13 area. Right here, right there, and then boom, came right back down. All right, we bought this dip. I'm gonna piece out of some. Maybe we can make a new high. How much do I have left? There, I'm only long 70 now. Probably should have covered euro too. Whoops, not fast enough. Make sure you guys clean up your orders that are outstanding if you got any out there. Probably need to take some stocks. That's right, Dave. Another nice move, dollar Swiss today. It's back in the new highs. I'm going to take some on that. Guys, I'm going to make a couple updates here. Well, the screen may freeze. If we get, I don't know, any of you still long pound yen? If you're trailing a piece to let the market take you out, you might make new highs. So if we make a new high, I mean, you can sell it, you can offer some and take into this tail, but then we got to take some into new highs if we get it. Should be out at 90% though. I mean, it's 10:30. You know, take 60, 70 pips out of the markets. It's good enough. You guys are flat, right? I know if some guys are long dollar Swissy with me, so I want to make sure they see this up here. All right, Nick, you're welcome. Sorry, I missed your message, buddy. Yeah, you might have taken off already. Good stuff, man. No, no, I'll be doing some work from the hotel. I'll be on tomorrow. I get in late, but I'll be on unless something. I'll be on. Andrew, the long term. It's choppy to me. Pound yen is one of the ones that's a little bit less directional long term. I don't even have a core position because it's it's completely neutral to me. Um, this was a strong move, right? We held halfway. I thought you could get back to the 30-day, which you did. Went a little through it, ebbed and flowed back here. But now we just kind of done this. And this is literally right in the middle. So, Andrew, I think it's bullish if we were to get above here. That's kind of the way it's looking right now. And it's bearish if you get back below here. But literally, I mean, I just see this and we're smack in the middle. So I don't see a lot of edge either way. Do you see that? Do you kind of see what I'm seeing there? I mean, I guess because we just held here again, you made another higher low relative to here and the cycle's coming up. I would be a little bit more constructive or bullish that we could get back to these highs. If we get above the 30, we could come up to here again, 144, 145. But this is kind of a neutral chart at the moment. The bands are up. You didn't hold it exactly, but you held halfway. Kind of held the bands again. So it's still leaning. I guess I would lean a little bit more bullish. And that kind of goes along with cable, putting that real money candle in we keep talking about. So I'm a little bit more constructive, the pound. You could even see on the 4 hour, the 200s kind of rolled back flat. They're crisscrossing. Prices kind of went below pi, back above it, back below it. It's kind of in a range trade. This 4 hour cycle maybe goes a little bit higher. Well, here it was clearly the weakness in sterling, but the yen is behaving differently than it did for most of last year. So this yen weakness has kind of flipped all that. It was nice when we had the yen strengthening like here, and you had weak sterling. But now we have kind of a more, if the yen weakens again, it's probably going to be choppy, right? If the yen weakens and dollar, like the dollar yen comes back up here and the yen weakens, but cable continues to get stronger, then we should rally in pound yen. But if we just have to see which pair kind of, I mean, to me, pound yen, the chart is showing you the same thing. Like, it doesn't know which currency is going to win out between the two. I mean, cable is not necessarily out of the woods, you know, like it's kind of moving sideways. If cable gets above 127, then it's going to probably go at least back to the 200, at least back to these highs, 134, which is close enough to the pi cycle as that comes down. But that should be probably enough to get pound yen to rally too. So if cable breaks out above this high, and then you get the yen to the weekend, which it may, if dollar yen holds here like we've been talking about, and we do another leg up like we had here, oh man. That would be probably a pretty bullish case for pound yen. It's just would be the opposite of what we had last year. This was weak sterling, strong yen. Sterling cable was getting crushed. Yen was just, everybody was, I mean, the yen just kept strengthening. Now it's kind of the opposite, which kind of makes sense because right here, growth started accelerating again. I mean, Japan loves weak yen, so. Anyway, we'll see what happens. It's still kind of neutral right now, but we need this dollar yen to turn the corner. Cables hasn't really made up its mind long term. Now, like I told you guys, I think this is the first signs that maybe it's gonna recover. This real money candle here, this area. But to change the TMS, it's clearly that 127.80. But then boom, if we get above there, it's all fractal. There's those highs again, right to the top of the bands. It's that whole 135, 136 area. Maybe this monthly cycle will help us continue into like summer. I could see that. If we get above the 8 here, see, it's all showing you the same thing. That same area right here, 127.80. If you get above that, there's room to go back to the 30 month. That's going to come down. New highest price line. I signaled buy on that dip. I'm gonna take some off there. All right, you guys good? I gotta take care of some other stuff here. Nice morning. It's nice to see us pop. I thought we were kind of in the make or break area there for a while. If we broke that level, it was gonna be one of these days where I was gonna have to try to work the short side into the pie, and would have made for a longer morning. But it's 11 o'clock. I think I might just get flat everything here. Euro took another leg lower. Euro might take another run. We'll see. Just got after it again. All right, guys, good stuff. I like the numbers you guys put up today. Rio, did you have a good session? And Toter, I don't know if if he's still with us. Did? Okay, good. All right, guys, good stuff. Well, I'll be making some posts in the room like usual, and then I'll talk to you guys in the morning. All right. You're welcome. Enjoy the rest of your trading day.